Hi, this is Colin Clark, editor of Breaking Defense with Dave Dearson, VP for Jltv from Oshkosh. And we are here a couple of weeks after the first deliveries to the Army, yes?
Correct. Yes, that is correct. We started delivering the first Jltvs last month in September, and we're steadily ramping up now production for test as well as getting into the full low-rate initial production volumes.
What kind of weekly production numbers are we talking at this stage?
Well, the production numbers really we don't discuss much. That's under the contract area, so I'd defer to the Joint Program Office for actual vehicle volumes and quantities. Suffice to say, we've started deliveries, and we've got a nice gradual ramp up on deliveries.
Okay. Show us around the vehicle. Tell us what's new on Jltv, especially I know a lot of our readers and viewers are going to be interested in the various weapons you can integrate.
Sure. From the last time, really no external updates on the vehicle itself. Same Jltv for the most part that was tested during the EMD phase. So we've got this vehicle we showed at the last show. One of the keys on this vehicle, though, we show is a medium caliber weapon. On the top of the vehicle actually is the 30mm weapon system integrated with some sensors for the system itself. It's a remote weapon station, so it can actually be operated from inside the vehicle, under armor. This is the way the weapon system is employed, or theoretically employed for the system, since it's not currently in the inventory.
So the crew stays safe?
Correct. The crew can stay safe under armor to operate this, utilizing a joystick and a station, if you will, in the back to enhance the effectiveness of this system.
So Jltv was a huge win for you guys. Show us, as we walk around the vehicle, what won
what's
you
so special
the deal?
about this? Yeah, I mean, what's so special about the Jltv is, from an Oshkosh perspective, we've been making trucks for 99 years now. Next year is our 100th year anniversary. But from a systems engineering approach to bring it all together, from that payload, the protection, and the performance, really bringing that into one package. A lot of times things are, Lincoln logged or Legoed, bring them together, which sub-optimizes all the systems. We're very vertically integrated, so we bring it all together. And a lot of it, the foundation, is our suspension system itself. We're the manufacturers of the TAC-4 independent suspension, which is on the M-ATV, some of our commercial vehicles, MTVR, etc. Well, this is the next generation of TAC-4. This is a TAC-4i suspension system. It's an independent suspension that has a full 20 inches of wheel travel, vice 16 inches of wheel travel on the previous TAC-4 system. So what that does for us, what it does for the warfighter and the operator, is it gives you tremendous off-road capability. This will actually, step back a little bit. The M-ATV has a TAC-4 suspension on it, which is really the gold standard in off-road mobility and suspension in a tactical wheeled vehicle. This will actually allow you to go 70% faster off-road than a standard TAC-4. 70% faster. So what you see on this in the off-road environment is these wheels literally are just bouncing up and down. The capsule itself is almost floating across it. So the benefits of that are a number of them. Primary is from an ergonomics, from a warfighter perspective. They're not being thrown around on the inside, hanging on for dear life. So they're going to be fresher to the mission.
Like with a Humvee.
Exactly.
Right.
You can see them bouncing all around. So they're going to be fresher to getting where they're at. So the missions today aren't just lasting a few hours, they're lasting days. So the ergonomics are tremendously important. I think we brought that together in this package. The other extremely good thing about a suspension like this is if the suspension is absorbing all of that road abuse and all the potholes and everything else and taking that into the suspension, it's not being transmitted, number one, into the occupants. Number two, it's not being pushed into the rest of the vehicle and those systems like C4. Some of those can be a little bit delicate at times.
Sure.
So if you're absorbing all that shock and vibration in the suspension, in the vehicle, you're not pushing it in, which gives you a much more reliable vehicle. So the front of the vehicle, one of the things that we're showing, if you look up the center of the vehicle up there, that is actually an advanced driver vision system, a driver enhancement system. It's not what's currently in the Army and Marine Corps inventory. We put it out here for this show. And what we're showing again is that system agnostic and our flexibility to integrate many different types of systems, many different types of electronics on the vehicle.
Can you give us an idea of how it works? It would allow, obviously, guys to operate at night with greater safety. What's it offer?
Yeah, what those systems offer is, you're right, in a dark situation where you don't want to have your headlights broadcasting exactly where you're at, The driver has a display that flips down, so it's a night vision capable system where it allows them to see clearly in the road ahead. And this particular one has a little bit wider field of vision than some of the other systems out there. So it again, enhances situational awareness and the ability for the warfighter operating the vehicle. One of the good things as well about this vehicle, since we're kind of standing at the front of it, is the powertrain on this vehicle. What we've been able to do is we've taken a commercial engine and we've militarized it, if you will. So we've taken the best of both worlds. You know, this is a Banks 866T diesel engine, which is based on a GM Duramax engine. So it's an engine that there's a million blocks out there already, extremely reliable already. So we've taken it, had Banks, they actually tweak it to run military grade fuels. So we've gotten extremely good reliability out of this engine, and we've got extremely good power. So we actually derate the engine for the current needs for the fuel economy and the power, so that when missions change in the future where they want more power, we can easily upgrade this vehicle to have more power and more capability.
Anything else about the vehicle you think folks would particularly like to know that isn't common knowledge?
No, I think it's, for the most part, it's all common knowledge now. I mean, we've got a vehicle that's, you know, got the protection of a light tank, off-road mobility of a Baja racer. It ran in Baja, and it's got the capability of a modern-day command post. So, I mean, I think from a systems engineering standpoint, we brought this whole package together at a great price. So we're just looking forward to getting into the test phase here with the government and actually getting these fielded out to the warfighter.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.